My role was to go to shows and take gaff tape and rip it up into pieces and put it on the wall for all the guys to take the tape and wrap the cable. I said, what else? Can I do anything else? And Dad said, that's it. That's all you do. Don't touch anything. Just rip the tape and put it on the wall. I said, this is a pretty easy job. All right, I could do that.
One of my first shows on the road in Orlando at a Disney property. After 3 days of watching audiovisual and lighting technicians take direction from my dad while he was drinking his coffee from the hotel, I do remember saying to him, what did you bring me here for? He grabbed me by my shoulders and said, all right, you want some responsibility? I said, of course, said yes. After getting copies and prints and running and doing errands for the meeting planner, Allie McCormick, still a dear friend of mine to this day, I do remember him telling me to go get case, I think it was labeled Y2 at the time. I remember thinking I was going to go get a piece of equipment and I was going to operate that and have some responsibility, whatever it was. I didn't even know what he was giving me. And when I went to open it up, I flipped up the lid. It was a custom case with a coffee maker, cups, filters, creamer, sugar, and some mugs. And his point that he made without physically saying the words was, you're here to be of service. You're here to add value at any cost, and more often than not, it doesn't involve equipment, and it's about the relationship with the client.
It's not a very welcoming industry or field to be in. It takes a lot of learning. Had to practice turning this equipment on in the warehouse and giving it different challenges and figuring it out and hooking up different stuff, calling Panasonic at all hours of the night trying to figure this thing out.
I currently am head of marketing and business development for the company, but I started as a technician, traveled primarily video, but also audio, lighting when needed. We kind of were all hands on deck depending on the project.
Then I started doing smaller jobs in town.
Around 2005-06 timeframe, I moved fully into sales after being a tech for a stretch of years.
In those early days were CRT monitors. That was an evolution right there overnight. Everything went electronic and digital. We were dealing with all kinds of challenges back then. We used to have to square the projector up to the screen. It was a thing. These guys don't have to do that anymore. They can pretty much set it anywhere, and the technology in the projector allows them to line it up.
In the early days, working with my father, I definitely learned the value of customer service being the #1 value proposition that we offer our clients. I think everyone has the gear, but the personalities that come along with that gear to produce the events is really what makes us different.
We started with Kodak. That's a very high-end corporate client, and we had to do things with zero mistakes. And so that's just how we did every event outside of Kodak, and every new customer that we got, treated them just like that.
So when it comes to the customer service and what we expect from our team members, it's again more than just the audiovisual lighting techs doing their individual responsibilities or jobs on site. We're really there to deal with anything. By going to war on behalf of our clients, I think of Joe Wojak. I think he used to say to us, if you're going to go to war, you got to bring a gun. That meant we were the Army, we were the ammo, we were the backup to the clients. So a lot of times we're cleaning up garbage in a booth, we're vacuuming the booth, we're cleaning off TVs, monitors, whatever the case may be, tables, desk. We're there to add value in any way, shape, or form, even if it wasn't related to the audiovisual equipment or support we were providing.
In terms of staying on top of technology, I think what drives us the most in that area is trade shows and custom exhibits. Their budgets are healthy and they are always looking for something new and different because they're competing side by side with each other on the trade show floor. We've been fortunate to have such a great space in that market, and therefore to get a lot of the latest technology into our inventory. I would say that our biggest achievement is most of our guys are still with us. Most of the guys that started when they were young, coming out of college, are with us still. COVID was a tough one. I know nobody wants to talk about it, but it changed things, and we bounced back from it.
You know, a lot of people thought we were thriving during COVID. As much as I want to say we weren't. Things were in question for a stretch. But what that did was that made the team even stronger than we were prior to. We're more unified. We've really embraced a mentorship and guidance road for our employees now. Everybody wants to see everybody win, so we share knowledge like we never have before. We were doing things that we didn't do prior to. We were really efficient at virtual and hybrid events, and it elevated our offerings to our clients.
Yeah, the balance investing in equipment versus people, or really both at the same time, is, I'd say it's tough. What you want is all the equipment in the world as a technician, but the reality is you can only afford to buy so much equipment and then sub-rent the rest. But you can sub-rent the gear anywhere. But I want my crew with me. I want the guys that I know can do the job. So yeah, investing in people is more important than the gear, without a doubt.
When it comes to the team members, I value them equally. I think it's more than AV. I do think that each individual team member brings something special to the table.
We've got a young group of gentlemen, and we've got an older group of gentlemen that are mentoring and guiding and showing these younger guys the true meaning of corporate AV and live productions. It's a partnership with Justin and I.
Because Jamie and I are so heavily invested in the day-to-day, even though we've picked up new team members, more management over the years, COVID reminded me how hard the job is, being on site once again, working with the team. It just reestablished the ground rules that my father set back when. Knowing some of the guys who have come from in-house or bigger production companies around the country, they value our take on things. They're not just a number, they're really happy and proud to be a part of something. They have a say in the overall production and the experience the client has. And I think that's how we empower them. I've been really proud to see the team take that on and carry on that tradition.
At the end of the day, it takes experience to know what your operation needs, and then it's ever growing, so that's a challenge in all in itself.
For 15 to 17 years, I've focused on the national market. With the local market changing in the last year or two, opportunities are abundant. In-house contracts are something we are entertaining now. I think our relationship with the On-Center in Syracuse will strengthen our reach and our client base, and it'll be a natural growth. It'll be something that's sustainable.
30 years of being on the outside of the in-house market, competing with the in-house. And now being in-house on the inside, it's just a whole nother world. The value we bring to that market in-house is 30 years of doing it professionally at a level that's a lot higher than in-house. And, that care that we bring to every show, we're bringing that to this in-house situation in Syracuse. We're not here to just get another sale, to just fit another meeting or event in. Sometimes we make more profit or less profit out of a job. That's not what it's about. It's about always focusing on making sure that show is absolutely flawless and the customer walks away super happy. And sometimes that means putting extra equipment, putting extra people on that order that were not on that order, not in that estimate. We put a lot more into it than what you see on paper and what those dollar amounts kind of add up to. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that are being planned, and risk management is being discussed. Like, great, we got what we need here in terms of gear, but what if this happens and what if that happens? Not, well, the client didn't order an extra projector. Well, no, we're going to bring a few extra projectors. You got 20 breakouts here.
When it comes to the customer service and how we approach each client, no matter if you're spending a small amount or a large amount, we treat them all the same. In the early days working with French's and my good friend Pam Ray, I learned the value of the best show ever. The show definitely must go on. You navigate through the challenges throughout the course of any week or show or production at a venue, and the personalities and the personal conversations and the relationships we had with our clients really what define us to this day.
We're just not in this to get another job and grow our sales. We're in this to do every job that we do 100%.
I think the strengths of our second generation owned family business is that you're not just a number, you're not just part of our revenue, we're not trying to meet a sales goal. We're really there to make an impression, create a long-term relationship, and create long-term business partnerships with our clients.
The show must go on. I haven't heard that slogan in a long time. It was a slogan that my dad started the company with. That's very true to this industry. The show must go on. And that's very true for us today still. The show has been going on for 30 plus years now.
The only other thing I would like to add is just a thank you to our clients. It really humbles me to know that for 30 years they chose Cheshire. It's something to be proud of.